them come. This is their fate.
Ubisoft had their Ubisoft Forward event. Um, I'm not going to hate on it. I'm just going to say if you were really interested in a lot of Assassin's Creed, you definitely got your fix. You got a lot of Assassin's Creed stuff. Assassin's Creed Mirage. You got your documentary that's going to be coming out. It's in partnership with, I believe it's a Netflix show as well, but they're also doing an Assassin's Creed documentary. Um, and about like just the start of the game. They announced Assassin's Creed's Valhalla, the last chapter, where they're gonna be tying up loose end on Ever's story. They also released the Assassin's Creed mobile game, code name Jade, where you're going to be playing in China, in 215 BC, BCE. Yeah, and then you got an Assassin's Creed Netflix show, as I stated. And then they also announced two other things, well, three other things. Assassin's Creed Codename Red. This is going to be another. So Mirage, Assassin's Creed Mirage, just to give you context, is the game that's going back to its roots. It's going to play more like Assassin's Creed 2, Unity, those types of games. Assassin's Creed Codename Red is the new game set in feudal Japan, which I'm actually really excited to be in that time frame and see how they build that world. But that is the one that's going to be the next premium, I guess, flagship title. That's what they're calling it. But it's basically the next Odyssey, the next Origins, the next Valhalla. And then they got Codename Hex. All new type of experience. It's looking like a little bit of witchcraft and a little bit of hocus pocus, but it's got like the Assassin's Creed logo built out of wood sticks, and it got this very creepy witchy vibe. So it might be a scary game, which would be interesting, I suppose. And then they talked about the overall thing, which is Assassin's Creed Infinity. It's basically like how they're going to curate the world of Assassin's Creed, and it's like this overlapping big bundle joy type of platform that's going to allow you to really jump into the full world of Assassin's Creed. And as they were going through it, I had to give them respect for having a game like this exchange and be different and still be successful. And just like how many worlds they have built as they were talking about it, I was just like, yeah, well, that's true too. They have done a lot of they have done a lot of stuff in history, like where they would like introduce you to these characters and like you would have like storylines based off of these historic people. And I don't think I ever got any like that from a different type of game, to the point where it was like, centerfold and centerpiece. But yeah, it it was it was that was the Ubisoft Forward. I could talk about the other stuff, but honestly, it's all going to be very negative. So I'm gonna focus on the positive, which is the Assassin's Creed portion. Um, yeah, did you take a look at anything Ubisoft wise, Josh, or the Assassin's Creed stuff?
Yeah, I skipped all the Rainbow Six and Tom Clancy games. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
The Assassin's Creed stuff, I looked at all the trailers, and yeah, I mean, they announced 5 Assassin's Creed games, Jalen. One of them you're gonna have to buy. They got something for everybody. Uh, I think, I don't know, maybe Jalen they get on the mobile version.
Man, what? Thought he bought it.
But yeah, Mirage, they didn't show any gameplay, but this is, I guess, I think the most exciting one for a lot of people is new environment. They haven't done like the Middle East in a very long time, and it's going back to a more classic style. So I guess I'm interested to see what that actually means.
Yeah.
Because I I want it to have good stealth, not just have stealth again.
Yeah.
Um, and I already said what I think about the story of where that game is going, so I don't know, but I want to see how it shapes up at least. Like I said, Ubisoft always makes really interesting looking environments, and I like exploring them. Hopefully, the story and like the side quests actually are interesting enough to make that worthwhile. And then the second one for me, I guess, would be uh, Codename Red or the Japan one or whatever.
Yeah.
Because yeah, they always do really good environments, and I think they'll make this feudal Japan game look very interesting as far as like the buildings and stuff you can explore.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it came out after Ghost of Tsushima, so people are going to compare it directly, and I don't think it's any way it's going to compare graphically. But I hope that they make the world at least interesting, and with it being the RPG, I think there's going to be a lot of because I really like Odyssey and the different play styles that you can get. So
Mhm.
I guess I am kind of interested to see what type of arsenal you'll have in there. Like, is it like samurai swords, or you want to do archery, or you be riding horses, or different stuff like that. So hopefully, it's a good, well balanced RPG. The other like Odyssey and Origins were really good. They just weren't well balanced. As long
Mhm.
as they get the balance right, I think it'll be a success. The other ones, I don't know. Hex could be anything. Like maybe it's more supernatural stuff because they've been adding like more supernatural stuff in all the games where you fight like gods and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, who knows? But uh, the other one, like the mobile game and more DLC for Valhalla, I don't really care. I don't really know who that is for, but
Yeah.
they got something for everybody.
Yeah, man. Like I said, they got something for everyone, Jalen. Um, all the Assassin's Creed you could ever want in the history of Assassin's Creed, Jalen. Here for you. I actually booted up on Unity, if you believe it or
Man,
not.
man,
I
I
bought Unity
actually
for like $4.
I booted it up
it's a waste.
yesterday, man, and I said, "This ain't as bad as Jalen was saying.
Bro,
Jalen tripping."
bro,
So,
Byron
Oh
was
man, I bought it for $4 and I played it for like 3 hours, and then when I got stuck trying to like stealth through like a crowd and had to keep restarting the mission, I turned it off. But hopefully they don't go back to that.
the game don't work, bro. I bought that game in the same night I was ready to get rid of it. I said I need to get my money back. And I was broke at the time too. Man, I had to figure out a way to get rid of that game. And I
yeah,
ain't played an Assassin's Creed game since.
man, they not that. Origins was actually a decent game. I was playing Origins yesterday too. I was like, man, uh, Unity. Yeah, I could see the scratchiness. I just wanted to play this. I wanted to see what the story went to or where it went, but it'd be better to just watch it online. I didn't. They didn't do any updates to that game. I thought they did like the Xbox enhanced stuff, but they didn't. They did it for Origins and they did it for Odyssey. So I just play
That game was
Origins.
trash.
It, anyways, I mean, if that's what you want to say, sure. But Unity definitely did have. Yeah, it was trash. You're right, but hopefully they're making this Mirage game a lot better, a lot more interesting. But it also keeping it in that same premise because I still enjoy the stealth action, being able to actually be an assassin. Because that was what it was. I thought it was like an open world Hitman. I thought it was really cool to be able to tackle stuff on your like in different ways, and like the missions will have you in do different things to kind of get stuff done. Um, one other thing I noticed while I was watching this thing is I was like, bro, they literally make the same character but put a different hat or outfit on this guy. I was looking at every last freaking like main character, and this literally he looks like uh everybody else. I forget the name. Ezio? Is it Ezio? And then I was
Ezio,
looking at
yeah.
Anvo. I was looking at the other guy from the original. Well, Ezio was original, and then there was the guy from Syndicate. I said, is that like common? Like everybody knows they look the same because they like in the same. But that's not how it works. They don't. It's not the same generation of person, is it? It's like you're playing and you're going into the ancestors of certain like situations, but you're not playing for with the same uh families. Like I thought it was different. I'm not. Maybe I'm mistaken on that
In the
part.
old games, they kind of look similar because they were the same family. But yeah, in the recent games, nobody's related to each other. Well, they're how to put it? No, they're not like directly related to
Mm-hmm.
the people in the real world or the present time, whatever. So yeah, I think they just are not good at making interesting or diverse looking main characters. Because I guess the Viking guy was different because he was like blonde hair, blue eyes. But yeah, everybody is like a
Man, if
guy
you
with a
zoom in
beard.
on those eyeballs and that nose and the mouth, like these people look the same. I was like, wow. I said, "Wow, okay. Well, when they pulled up Mirage and they were showing off, I was like, bro, these guys look the freaking same with different color beard." Um,
Yeah,
but I mean,
yeah, that's their thing. Because the guy from Origins, you could take off the beard, but yeah, he was just a guy with a beard. In this game, he's a guy with a beard. Unity, guy with a beard. Um, so yeah.
yeah. So I mean, overall, um, the event didn't do what I wanted it to do. I'm not gonna be harsh on them because I don't know. As I was going through it and thinking about what's important for a company, at least Ubisoft isn't cramming tons and tons of microtransactions. They announced plenty of mobile games. I don't have to agree with their tactics, but they're just not cramming a bunch of stuff down my throat. But man, is this a mismanaged company at this point? It's like they focus on the and I can't be mad at them because I feel like they focus on the important stuff like livelihood, people's ability to, still see their family, really showing off diverse or adding in a diversified portfolio of games. But at the same time, I feel like they neglect the things that really got them to that point. And they just don't care.
Yeah, I'll say like they this event they focus on two franchises way too much. Like there's no
Yeah.
need for five Assassin's Creed games. Like at most, sure, do your little DLC in your next game, or maybe even at most a mobile game. But there's no reason to announce five brand new games. Like
Yeah.
one of those could be Prince of Persia. One of those can be Beyond Good and Evil that you're supposed to have been working on, or stop making Tom Clancy. Just make, you know, get another IP. Get um, James Bond or something. Like, stop recycling the same
Dude, they do the
IPs. I know
same
that people
thing.
buy them, but you don't need 10 Tom Clancy games. Make one. People will buy the mess out of it because they always do, and use your other resources to do new things. But I don't understand what is up with Ubisoft. They act like they don't have the ability to make any other game, and then like one of the biggest companies in the world.
Yep. It was one highlight for me, the BMX stuff for Riders Republic. I actually have that game, and I don't want to buy the season pass though. But that looked interesting. But everything else was just like I don't even understand why you guys came. You should have called this the Assassin's Creed thing and left it at that, because that is all it was. So yeah. Ubisoft did exactly what I thought they were going to do. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed, and I don't really have to pay attention to them or look at them that much because at this point they don't really care to get that type of money out of me, and I'm fine with them doing that. So, anyways, moving on past the UB nasty stuff, I wanted to talk about the Xbox Elite Series